So here's a very interesting topic of inventory. So we need to be very careful, I guess, about our inventory, what we've got.
Yes, definitely. By the way, can I just say that the word inventory, I came up with that word.
Okay.
It's not like a legal term as such. An inventory for me is just a list of assets. It's just a document detailing what you own, where
What
it
we
is. And I mean, some people call it a black box file. I mean, probably if you look at going back to our parents' generation or parents' generation, they have a little box with all these paperwork so that you know, okay, the title deed's here, and they might have a provident fund or a bank account or locker account number. There will be a few documents in the box. So over the years, some people have made a black box. So the husband will tell the wife, look, you see that black box there? All my documents are there. If something happens to me, you need to refer to that box. I just named this inventory.
Wow, okay.
It's a list, I think, because when I was doing some property works several years ago, I remember when you give a property out to be let, you have an inventory and you write everything down.
That's right, yeah.
That in the kitchen you've left this and that. So
Sure.
the word inventory came from that. So for me, inventory is basically listing out everything you own.
Okay. So
That's
listen, and that's almost very similar to what we talked about, as in what it is as an asset. So you want to list
exactly
that asset. So before we talked about what it was, but now what you're suggesting, we know what it is, but now you've got to put it in a list.
That's correct. We have prepared a 45-page Word document. I can gladly share this to anyone who send me their details.
Okay.
It's a complimentary document. I don't want it back. It's something I'll give to you, but it just gives you an idea of what you should be writing or thinking of. You know, it's like, I'll give you a good example, Faisal. You've drafted the will, but who's got the original?
Right, okay.
So even in inventory, you can say, oh, the original will is left with XYZ, or you left it in the cupboard, or it could be in the drawer, or it could be in the safe. These are the things you need to write down.
So this document that you've got, 45 pages, what does that do?
It's just a template
that
you complete,
right,
and you share it with your family.
Oh, okay.
That's all. So it's just something you can go on the computer and type it all out. You can handwrite it. I mean, it's like different schools of thought. Everyone is having their own mechanism. You know, having a mechanism, their own approach on how they should prepare such a document. All I say is just write something down.
Okay.
And I've called this inventory. But the point I'm trying to make is important. You share it with someone.
Okay, so you could, if we emailed you, or if our listeners, viewers emailed you, you could send us this template and give us something to work from.
They can send me a WhatsApp. I can WhatsApp them the details, or they can go on a Facebook page.
Sure.
Whatever it is, the document is there. You can you complete it. But like I said, I don't want it back.
Sure. It's
something. I just say to you, here it is. Please complete it and share it. But one thing I would like to say to the viewers, why do you? I know over the weekend when you have a couple of hours, amongst yourselves, I'm actually telling couples to do this. Husband, it's like I won't say a game, but it's like a play role. The husband and wife sitting down together, and the husband tell the wife, okay, I'm giving you 1 hour, pretend I'm dead. Here's a piece of paper and a pen, write down what have I got, where's the money? So it's like an exam.
Right.
Where the husband is taking the exam and the wife is the student. And his wife's job is to list everything she knows.
Fantastic.
You will be shocked if the wife can even get 30% of the information.
Well, that sounds like a bit of a challenge. Maybe we could do that on social media and get some feedback from the viewers to say, right, try this game. Pretend, God forbid, you've passed away. Give your partner 1 hour. And
1 hour, 2 hours,
whatever.
What can they come up with? Faisal, take a step back. You ask any working person,
sure,
do they know what pensions they have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the person who's alive will scratch his head, say, no, I don't even know. So I said, right, you're dead now. Will your family know?
Well, if you don't know, there's no chance, is there?
Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. I think the worrying thing is if I did do that with my wife, she would come up and know everything. I think, how did you know that? How could you possibly have found that out? But there you go. Our wives are a lot wiser.
I would like to hope so. I mean, look, it could be with respect, and it could be wiser in many other things.
Yes,
but
no doubt.
I just feel like, and I'm speaking for myself here, that we as husbands, we would gift wrap our wife and children, and we cushion them with everything going on. But sometimes, you must have heard the expression, you've got to be cruel to be kind.
Sure.
So I think this is something you need to sit down and prepare this list and share it. And the list has got to include everything that you own. So, and looking things like your locker accounts. I mean, do you know how many locker accounts in banks are just sitting idle?
Can I just clarify, what do you mean by the term a locker account?
Okay, let's say you have jewellery. You might be scared that someone could break in your house and steal the jewellery. Yep. So what do? You go to the bank.
So it's like a safety deposit box.
That's all it is. It's called a locker account.
God.
So you'll be surprised within the Asian community how many women has locker accounts, and all it is full of jewellery. Now, if the person passed away,
sure,
you need to go and claim that jewellery. Have you told your family?
My God, it's another one of those difficult ones. Is you write a list and you sit down with your wife, husband, or whatever you look at. You've got all that. My God, you hit that well.
I agree. It's a double-edged sword, but like I said, it's important you prepare some sort of vehicle to have this information shared. And if I could say one more thing, is that we are preparing. We're working on the system where, information will be shared after the death. Anyway, to the family.
Sure.
So this is something I would say to the viewers, if you watch out for this space. So we're working on something that information can be shared post-death.
Indeed, and that will harm nobody when you're passed.
Hopefully. Just make sure you don't write down you've got 2 wives. Then you should be okay.
You should never write that down, should you?
You should never know.
In case the girlfriend finds out.
Exactly.
Well, okay. Well, I think there's some information, very useful information there about what you term as inventory. But essentially, it's just making sure you list everything that you own.
Exactly. I mean, I'm talking things like investments, life insurance, properties, off-plan properties, companies, title deeds, passwords, pension details, stock shares, investments, locker accounts, Bitcoin accounts, anything, everything counts.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's money at the end of the day, and you don't want a stranger to make this money from you. You want to make sure it goes to your family.
Or worse still, it goes nowhere, it just sits there and then the bank keeps it.
And the bank keeps it. Eventually it'll go to the government.
Indeed.
I mean, I don't even seen the statistics, how much money the government is receiving in unclaimed funds. We're not talking millions. It can even go into the billions.
I can imagine. Well, useful words there, Mohammed. Again, easy for us to overlook certain parts of our inventory within our lives. But your message is put everything down on a piece of paper and share it.
That is correct.
And we look forward to your system, your platform, that's going to make our lives a lot easier in the future.
Watch out for this space.
Watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed for that, Mohammed. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, Faisal.